Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to the continuation of our somehow still unassassinated live Let's Play of Suzerain. I want to apologize for that slight delay there. It was either that or the screeching of a fire alarm to kick off today's stream, and I think I made the right decision there. Thank y'all for your patience, of course. Really excited to dive in today and just see where this world takes us. But of course, before we do, I would like to give a warm welcome to all of y'all who have joined in right off the bat over here. Natalie P, Saketh, Theo AR, Jazzy B. My wholesome stream is back. You know what? Yeah, I guess calling Suzerain wholesome is appropriate. It's the most wholesome of things we stream, I think, is fair to say. Sant, how's it going? How's it going? We have also with us 6X Lord David B. Lots of conversation in chat. Love to see it. Love to see it. And we have as well David Danieluk and Wickles. How's it going? Hope you're having a good end to the week, I suppose. Man, I've lost track of days. I have lost them for weeks now, if not months. I completely forgot today was Friday until I thought about that sentence. Maxime, how's it going, buddy? And Sergio LP, glad you can make it today. Webby the Great, hey, King of Dragons, how goes? Classified, good morning, buddy. Planet Zoo streams, though, what about them, Saketh? What about them? Let the music play. It should be playing right now. Looks like there's... Let me know if audio is looking okay, by the way, folks. It should be good. Looking at my levels and everything should be fine, but there was a Streamlabs update as well, and just, you know, I don't trust updates. Never trusted them. You can never know what'll go wrong with an update. Got an important question. Potato crisps, grilled flavored chips, or Ben & Jerry's half-baked? Hang on a second. Okay, so you're what's this potato? So you're asking for chips, or, you know, like crisps. Fair, okay. Or ice cream? You're picking between flavored chips and ice cream? What's the flavor? No, Sam, I did not forget to upload the last episode of Workers and Resources. This week has been absolutely crazy, with a huge bit of news for the channel and for many people who have been with the channel for a very long time, and that obviously took a lot of my time and energy and focus. A couple of late nights, a couple of all-nighters over the course of over the weekend and the week so far. So I did not forget to upload anything. No, I just had to put a couple things on pause. Stream sounds fine. Okay, cool. I was just looking out for that. All right, let us then dive in to our latest session. Oh man. I'm just waiting for when the bullet hits the back of our head. I'll be completely honest. I'm sure I've upset enough people. And of course, this episode, or this chapter, is called Trials of Democracy. It's just a matter of time. We have set up the reforms of our... What am I looking for here? Oh, by the way, that's also the reason why last week's stream was... had to be canned, unfortunately. Be on my toes always and adapt and overcome, as it were. But yes, let's take a look at the journal. Take a look at turn 3. So, hold on. Does it just say these 3 things? Fair enough. So again, just as a reminder, this was 2 sessions ago now. I paid for Serge, my driver's children's education. That hit our personal wealth a little bit, but that's fine. I have signed off on the draft for the reform package to reform the country. So now it's going to go to the committee that's overlooking the reforms, the constitutional reformation, and they're probably going to have some opinions. I also have to go around and convince the various parties, the various like sub-factions within our political party. They need to be convinced of, you know, to agree with my propositions. The big issue is going to be the Supreme Court, because not only because a lot of the rules that we've decided to implement would strip them of some power, it would also open them up for like scrutiny a bit more. And the old guard, which is the majority in the Supreme Court, really doesn't like that. And it might have been a little detrimental to our efforts to yell at the Chief Justice, maybe, but we'll see what comes of it. And then, of course, there is also the fact that we banned both the Red Youth and the Young Swords organizations. That was an interesting conversation in chat, and it was an interesting back and forth, but I feel like, and I hope that we made the right decision there. As some of you pointed out, though, the reality is probably that they just went underground and will just be less public and perhaps more violent as a result of that push. There were a couple other small things that went down. We were still looking to have trade delegations with Agnolia and Welland as well, though we do have some doubts about maybe actually going through with Welland because these guys they seem pretty scummy. Let's put it that way. Most neutral I can put that statement, I guess. They seem kind of scummy. Agnolia, though, they will try and push for a more favorable deal in their favor because for the last however many years we've been kind of taking advantage of them, and I'm okay with that if it means we have an ally against the potential threat of Rumburg. I call it potential, but that seems like an understatement. They've been making some moves, right? They've been making some moves. I would say ice cream, by the way, looking at chat, just to let you know, Lavicon, I would say ice cream is maybe the way to go. Just because, like, right now, I feel like ice cream. so I'm projecting. So I'm projecting. The economic development pretty much indicates your progress towards ending the recession. You mean the this little bar over here, right? We need to try and fill it to end our situation. The ideology of Welland is literally socialism with nationalist characteristics. I wonder what that is. Yeah. I do wonder. Put ice cream on your potato chips. I mean, you could, if you like, let the ice cream warm up a little bit, you could use it as a dip for your potato chips. I don't know if that's the right idea, but I'm just throwing it out there. All right, what's going on at Hallsword? Read the report from Hallsword. Reform Committee started preparations. All right. Vice President Vectern reported that along with Lucien Galade, the committee has started working on the written aspects of the package as per the needs outlined previously. They will soon get the legal team involved to complete the writing process. The needed 150 signatures for the proposal has started to be collected within the USP. Okay, all right, we've already started getting some signatures. That's good. it could have just as easily said there are no signatures yet. All right, I assume there's some progress over here with our highway project, and I assume it's going to be a problem because it's been a while since we've had a problem with this. So we're about due for one. Oh no, okay, dinner with the business council members. Oh no, I can already picture how this is going to go. Abdelmesse, how's it going? Hey, glad you can make it. Instructions unclear, how's it going, buddy? Just caught you, I don't know if I missed you earlier. And second rook, how goes? Suggest going for the nuclear approach, what could go wrong? You know what, you're right. You're right. It's the 50s, it's in fashion, it's vogue, right? let's go nuclear. Check the national overlook, the military might have some worrying ideas in red. Let me take a look over here. Military interference in politics, you mean that one? I mean, outdated military equipment is also something to worry about, but that top one is certainly something to be concerned about. Alright, let's take a look at this this dinner. Ugh, God. I'm not actually physically going there, but I loathe the idea of us going there, We were in Lackhaven to work with the Business Council to assess weaknesses in the economy. Simon organized a dinner with the affluent economic figureheads of Sordland. When we arrived, the streets were bustling with activity, even though the atmosphere in the country was tense. Lackhaveners didn't seem very worried. Together with Walter Tusk, Edith Anyok, Mikhail Avin, and Simon Hall, we entered the renowned Asteria restaurant by the coast. A short blonde man whose embroidered pocket-red manager greeted us and waved his arms in excitement as he told us how pleased he was to have us in his establishment. Beaming with pride, he led us to a private room and got us seated at a large table, covered for the occasion with a maroon tablecloth. Aw man, not with like one of those like paper tablecloths with a couple of crayons and you can like draw on them? Is that a thing in other places? We have one chain restaurant in Canada, which like the food is just not worth talking about. You go there for the art experience because all the tables are covered. It doesn't matter if it's a family, if it's just all adults, if it's college, it doesn't matter. The tables are covered in paper tablecloths. I'm not just talking about a small menu that's made of like with crayons. I'm talking about the whole tablecloth. If you have a table for 16, they will put down these giant sheets and you just draw on them with the crayons they provide you. It's hilarious. It's anyway, we have a maroon tablecloth and I assume they would not appreciate us drawing on it. We were quickly served by a group of servers. Walter spoke as they started taking our orders. I recommend the Lackhaven salmon, President. You have to taste this local delicacy here, the best in Sordland. I appreciate the advice, but I don't like salmon. I love how it's just like, honestly, when this game wants to go in on somebody, it's just so ruthless. It's like we have no reason to believe that we don't like seafood or salmon or what have you. But like just now, we could make the decision to just potentially lie and be like, you know what? Nah, I don't like salmon. Screw your advice. Get out of here. Go jump off a cliff. I'll try the salmon. Sure, why not? Traditional Swordish bean stew. Man, I can't imagine being under public scrutiny like this. Just like everything you do, every move you make, every like order you make, potentially coming back to ruin your career. Walter Tusk. I mean, again, he's one of those like millionaire businessmen we've butted heads with in the past. I think I've been mean enough to him, you know? I think I've been mean enough to him already. I think we'll take the salmon. Oh my god. The Uber Jammer, you think this is about to be my my poisoning? Every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you. Yeah. God. Poison salmon. All right. We'll go with the we'll go with the yeah, exactly. He tried to bribe me and I said no. I feel well, I don't know if that's being mean to him. Salmon with an arsenic fricassee. Oh god. It's a trap. You can't win regardless of your choice. You know what? Alright. Let's go with the bean stew. If you're gonna poison someone, don't do it in public. That seems fine. I don't know. Let's go with the bean stew. Fine. Let's make a stand over here. I'm not eating like the grossly rich of Lackhaven. I'm having a traditional stew. Why not? Probably poisoned everything. Kill the entire cabinet, right? I ordered the traditional Swordish bean stew for the main course. The servers took their notes and asked about the second dish. Ooh, rice. You can't... Is it just plain rice? What? You gotta, you know, I mean, I like rice. I'm gonna channel a bit of myself over here. Yes, rice. Beans, think of the flatulence. It is my, it is potentially my strength or my undoing, Natalie. Flatulence is what killed us in Crusader Kings 3. I thought I saw someone mention every bread you take. I like that. I ordered rice. The servers placed glass... Okay, hold on. Wait, 1 second. Is it just plain rice? That's kind of weird to me. I guess you could have just plain, like, sticky rice. But even the... anyway. The servers placed glasses in front of each of us and served bread and water. After they were done taking orders, they quickly left us alone in the private room. Okay, this is the economic state of the nation. We, the political elite, are dining with the business elite, and we're eating stew, plain rice, water, and bread. Man. Interesting. Why is plain rice weird? Isn't plain rice weird? I mean, again, I'm used to have it like... You know, rice you like put in with like you put stuff on it, right? Like whether it's like a curried thing or like something like a sauced meat or something, like when you go like Korean barbecue style stuff, it like rice is with stuff. Right? Right? But anyway, we're having our bread, water, rice, and stew. It must be golden rice. Maybe it's like really fancy rice. Mr. President, I didn't have the possibility to thank you for coming today. Your presence means a great deal. The chairman of CBS, the Central Bank of Sordland. Okay, interesting. She's an economist and banker. All right, fair enough. Adopted daughter of the first president of the Republic, Mr. Whiskey. Oh, interesting. Met her during his visit to Narbel. After learning her story, her miserable living conditions, and her desire to study at a university, Whiskey decided to adopt her and finance her education. Hey, we financed some educations. Maybe we should adopt our driver's children too. No, we're not doing that. Fair enough. Honestly, my one son is enough to deal with. Yeah, rice with stew, I suppose, is the idea there. They just said it was a second dish. I'm probably not going to play Sea of Thieves on this channel. It looks like a fun game, but it's really not the kind of stuff that I play on the channel. Got chips and dip. What flavor dip? And cider. Nice. Topping it off. Indeed, sir. It's an honor to dine with you. Oh, don't fluff me up. Mikhail Avin is a Swordish businessman, economist, and statesman who serves as the co-chairman of the National Business Council. Born in Agnoland, okay, to an Agno-Swordish family. Studied in the Lackhaven Business School. All right. Before starting at Gassam. Isn't Gassam a foreign entity? No, it's one of our... Okay, I just felt like it sounded not swordish. It is one of our largest corporations. Okay, fair enough. At least he's loyal to the nation, I suppose. He did eventually transfer over to Omek's Agnolia headquarters. All right, fair enough, where he oversaw the economic guidance of small Agnolian fishing settlements to transform into major economic centers. This guy's got some, he's got some stripes. Fair enough. Yes, Sant. Yeah, she's the daughter of, she's the daughter of the military dictator before Alfonso. Yeah. But, his name was Whiskey, so can't be that bad. Right? Can't be that bad. You don't order a whole dish for yourself in China, but for the whole table. Yes. Rice comes in like a smaller bowl, and then like everything else, it's more like a communal eating experience, where you get like the big bowls of stuff, and you kind of like go into the center and you take what you want onto your own plate and bowls and whatnot. Very different. They have plain rice all the time in Hassenfalk? No, they don't. No. They have their rice with like curries and stuff for sure. Indeed, sir. It is an honor to dine with you. Likewise isn't the truth. Thank you. God, that sounds so cocky. These two haven't wronged me. I'm not going to be mean to them. I don't like this guy so much, but these two haven't wronged me. So likewise, let's be reasonable for starters, and we'll get the lashes out later. We should thank Simon for organizing this meeting. Yeah, I suppose we should. No need for that. I hope everybody enjoys the evening. Simon gestured at the expensive-looking red wine bottle that one of the servers had just brought to the table. Mr. President? You're asking me to test it? I understand having one person at the table test the wine and then approve it for the full table. Like, I understand that whole, routine or whatnot. But I don't know if it's the head of state. I don't know if they should be testing the wine first. Yeah, sure. I'll. You know what? No. Are we here for business or are we here to party? I want to say no, thank you. Yeah, I was literally gonna say 6X Lord for the optics of it. Smile and nod. No, thank you. Are you serious, Mr. Rain? You're going to pass on a Chateau de Falenco 1934? Clearly. Oh, I prefer something regional, or at least swordish. Ooh. I'm kind of tempted to make this a sober night. Looks like a nice serving of communism. Where's this country's language taken from? I don't think they've like stuck with any one reference. Like, I look at Ribery and I think of France immediately. I look at Vissamar and I think of The Witcher. I look at Estord and, nothing, like, kind of like Northern Europe comes to mind, I guess-ish. I don't know. I don't think they really pick one place. My CK experience tells me not to be the taster. Yeah, that's honestly, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try to not drink this evening. I have to insist. Dude, you have no power over me. As I've said, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to bring up the suffering of the country. As true as that might be, like, I'm trying to not dampen the mood before it needs dampening, All right, Mr. President. Nobody is forcing you. Are you sure about that? Because you're kind of being naggy. After everybody was served their preferred drinks, Simon stood up with his glass raised. I'm actually going to have a quick sip of water over here, folks. I'm losing my voice already, goddamn. I'd like to raise a toast to all of you here today. We're meeting here tonight in difficult times, but I believe that with hard work, cooperation, and trust, we'll get through this period as well. I'd like to thank Mr. Rain again for his decisiveness when it comes to economic policies. I'm sure we will stop this recession. I also thank Mr. Tusk for being here with us today. His presence is an honor. And of course, my colleagues from the Business Council, Mrs. Anyok, and Mr. Avon. Without you, none of these would have been possible. Let's drink to future cooperation and growth. For a prosperous Sordland. Everybody raised their glasses and toasted each other. After a couple more minutes, the servers arrived with our meals. The food tasted amazing. Walter was right. This place must have been the best place in all of Lackhaven. So how did you find the food of the best fine dining restaurant in Lackhaven, Mr. President? It's okay. This can't get old. It's an experience. The chef must be tipped. I kind of like that, you know. Not a big fan of fancy food, but I must admit that this is very tasty. Oh, God. It's like one of those, like, this is one of those difficult choices where it's just like, I've previously, like, behaved along the lines of liking good food, good drink, and whatnot. Right? Am I straight up going to lie to these guys? It's okay is a hilarious option. There's Walter Tusk whining about you not drinking the wine. Yeah, honestly, so much pressure. Any substance is a poison, just depends on the dose. I don't know, can you get water poisoning? I see what you're getting at. Like, chocolate is technically toxic for us, but not nearly enough to kill us with a normal amount of chocolate. But the finest beans, the fluffiest rice, 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, there's my Yelp review. Would the tip mean -1 wealth? Oh my god, what kind of a tip are we giving this guy? Jishnu S, how's it going? I'm doing well, thank you. Pantern Wolf says, yes, you can, with regards to... Wait, is that actually what the tip is? Oh, you can actually drink yourself to death, you're saying? I see. Your brain expands and you die instantly? No, for real? Oh, damn. Well, okay. Fair enough. This can't get old. It's an experience. The chef must be tipped. I'm torn between tipping the chef and just being like, it's okay. I don't want to be this kind of pretentious. This is pretentious to me. Number 2 is just not fitting, I would say. I'm seeing some calls for 4. I think let's tip the chef here. Water poisoning is the thing. Yeah, honestly, water poisoning makes me think of that Calvin and Hobbes comic strip where he drinks too much water before they go on a road trip. But almost everything makes me think of Calvin and Hobbes, I think. Definitely it doesn't. But I will take care of the tip. Don't you worry. Always generous when it comes to small things. Tipping is no small thing. I actually don't like giving tips. People have salaries for a reason. But anyway. How are things going in the Maroon Palace? The pressure must have increased after you attended that funeral. Pressure was already high, not much has changed. It did, but it was the right decision. I have to say the future's looking good. It's tough, but our work on the new constitution continues. I'm going to say, I have to say the future is looking good. Let's go ahead and give them, you know, I know what they're going to try and do. I know what they're going to try and do. The future is looking good. Yeah, foolproof man. It's been funny to see that kind of stuff in chat, just like the decision-making process of various people's. All right, after the future's looking good. That's great to hear. As we conversed with Mikhail, I heard Walter raise his voice in an apparent argument with Edith and Simon. We both stopped to listen. Arcasia knows the right way of doing business. Their approach to the world is real and raw. I prefer that cutthroat approach in comparison to the niceties. Well, I mean, it's a nice country to visit, too. I've traveled there often in business trips. Their attitude on, all countries are nice to visit if you have the cash. Oh, Edith. Oh, okay. You know, yeah. Yes, I agree with that sentiment, and I didn't expect this from either of these guys. In fact, Simon has been a bit of a surprise today as well. I think he's just buttering them up. But that's, you know, I like that. I like that. I like that. 6 liters of water in 3 hours. Woman died. Okay, well, this is actually, you know, this is one of those not so fun facts, I guess. Optimism before a fall. Hey, man, it's always good to look up, I guess, to the potential future. Who is Edith? So Edith we just learned about. She was the one who was adopted by Whiskey. She used to come from a relatively sort of impoverished background from the south. I think she's from Narbel, which is like way off, you know, where we visited last session, where people were like just in a horrible state, basically. So she's from there, and that would explain her I guess, perspective, right? That she understands. She's been on both sides of the conversation, so to speak, so she understands the context of it. I don't know why Instructions unclear. I don't know why YouTube decided to block that message. A French noble died because he held his pee for too long at a party. Well, I mean, that's different. That's like you're holding... I mean, that's a whole different problem. That's a whole different problem, I think. Okay, all countries are nice if you have the cash. Money does turn the world around. Travel is the least you can buy with it. Certainly not all. Yeah. Exactly. How about the people who don't have the extra cash to spend? Yeah, Edith seems like good people, yeah. What do I think of Edith's hair? I need to know how nicely it bounces, Natalie. It's all about the bounce and the volume. What about disease? What about death? What about everything that is wrong with the world? These are matters beyond our lives. We should focus on the betterment of ourselves and enjoy what we have instead of worrying about what others don't have. Oh my god. Like, this man somehow finds a way to upset me in one sentence faster than anybody in my real life. Like, I'm talking about something that can very much be, controlled or mitigated, and then he escalates it to things that are literally, yes, out of control, and he draws parallels between them. You scum. God damn, man. Like, just... He is the fastest to, turn me mad, honestly. Holy. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about how we can uplift the unfortunate. No, it's like talking about stopping death. No, it's not. God damn it, man. World isn't black and white. You're right, we only live once. Yo, I'm not about to YOLO here. Or carpe diem, but truly an egotistical way to look at the world. Yeah. Old men plant trees whose shade they shall never sit under. Oh, are we about to go philosophical and deep? I feel, oh man. See, either I can, neg him, as it were, or I could show my my wisdom, obviously borrowed wisdom, but wisdom nonetheless. Yeah, old men plant trees whose shade they shall never sit under. Do it, go deep. I vote trees. Alright. An idealist at heart. You know what they say. Being a romantic idealist is easy when you have the time and money to be able to just sit down, relax, and dream. Oh, that's rich coming from you. Walter is taking us down the rabbit hole again. By the way, I saw that the construction of the highway has already started. I have my concerns about the company, but I hope they do a good job. I expect that the project will bring new investments for Magnolia. The mood is already becoming positive. I have to congratulate Mr. Rain for starting such a massive project. Even this guy, okay, so among these three, she is she's the best of the worst. And, even saying best of the worst is unfair to her. She hasn't really shown to be problematic. So I'm liking Edith so far. Mikhail is all right. He's not so gross, I guess. Walter is the big one. He's the guy I hate. Where toast comes from. In the Middle Ages, people poisoned their rivals by poison in their drinks, so people toasted when the glasses hint. I've heard that the drinks mix when you toast, and so the risk of everybody getting poisoned is a way to show that. Is that verified? I've heard that. Keep an eye out for a good Tusk pun, and that'll show him. God, yeah, I'll pun him to death. The truest of punishments. Thank you for your support. No need for that. Say is just doing this job. I hope the investment returns will be great. No, thank you for your support. Again, I can be polite to the people who are polite to me. Government contract, construction company. What could possibly go wrong, right? Nothing. Nothing could go wrong. Maxime. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that sentiment. Only Tusk seems to be problematic there. Of course. Mr. Hall also deserves credit, of course. Our great economy minister. Is that sarcasm? Or is that joshing? Is there a joke coming? Why? I thought you said you were great at economy. He laughed. Great at economy. I've heard that you've bought a new villa, Simon. I don't comment on rumors, but I'll make an exception since we are among friends. It's true. No. A new villa is a bit much, especially in this economy when people are suffering. But... oh, man. I can't chastise my entire cabinet. I'll ask him where the property is. I mean, honestly, it's seriously, you're going to buy a villa when people are barely able to put food on the table? Optics, man, optics. I'm not saying he's not allowed a villa, eventually, but now's not the time. Where's the property? Again, I can't have my entire cabinet hating me. They will try and kill me. They will try and kill me. I mean, he paid with his money. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's his money and he can do with it as he wishes. But optics is a big thing. He's a political figure, right? He's my minister of economy. He's gotta, you know, take that into consideration as well. The news will print as people starve on the streets. Mr. Rain's minister of economy buys a swanky new villa overlooking that, like, you know. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, I am vilifying him, Natalie. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm being too harsh. And also maybe I'm being too harsh. He hasn't done us dirty or anything. It's a small seaside villa at the outskirts of Conrad. There's just a modest house with a swimming pool and a small golf course in the property. You got, man. All right, now y'all tell me, like, come on, isn't that a little excessive? Isn't that a little excessive? Why does he have so much money right now when the economy is in shambles? Yeah, how long has he been saving for? Good investments, maybe. I hope he hasn't been taking bribes, but the fact that he organized this dinner kind of makes him a little bit shady. When have I been concerned with optics? I mean, I did just turn down that wine, and I had that stew, right? Great city to buy real estate in. Conrad is seeing a surge of investments. So you're becoming a neighbor to Marcel Caronti. That's what I thought when he said Conrad. I was just like, oh, he's rubbing shoulders with all these conglomerates and businessmen. Modest? Are you being sarcastic with me? God damn, man. And the plain rice. Yeah, I can't forget the plain rice. Yeah, he might have gold toilets. How many bedrooms does he have, honestly? He doesn't have a bowling alley in the basement, so he's being frugal. True, those things need a lot of maintenance. You know, unlike a swimming pool. God damn it. Great city to buy real estate in. Conrad is seeing a surge of investments. I think we'll go with that one for now. I see the calls for one or two. You know, these last two are very, like, pointed. You know, I'm gonna try and keep things civil here, I think. As civil as possible. We're out in public. Wow, there's a... Underhall Construction made a fortune constructing houses there. Where there is demand, there is supply. The market rules supreme, as always. Edith, who was sitting to my left, gently put her hand over my arm for a few seconds. Her hand over my arm. Okay, cool. Come on, let's not talk about finance or politics for now. We came here to relax. Get your hand off me. I'm a married man, Edith. She turned to Walter in silence. Isn't that right, gentlemen? Yeah, put your hands on them. They nodded at her and took a sip from their drinks. She slightly leaned towards me. Oh, dude, I was just joking previously. Party already lost the mass media and the corporate. He doesn't want to lose his cabinet too. Yeah, that's basically it. It's a private room, but you know, how private is it really? Have we checked for bugs? And I'm with this is the general public. Do not be mistaken. Just because they're rich doesn't make them not the general public, right? So let's be careful with allowing them too much wiggle room. Well, I guess I'm kind of glad that the alert box was hidden from last time, because otherwise we would have had a massive bout of alerts popping in there. Yep, there's that subscriber surge, the sub surge. Holy. Well, real quick, Digel Didu, Altarian L, Andre Lemcool, hope I got that right, Puffington, Adam Olson, Flamboyant, Matt Nickel, Tim F. Water, Diogo Pereira, Gerard Proulier, Rygor 90, Oscar Doyle, Alistair McDuff, Sam Thomas, C.S. Pasquet, Sufferin, I assume, Sandro Lombardi, Yara Ahmed, Stevan Yolik, Mr. Dadster, Jarl of the North, Gen 7X13, Mark Hartman, Kawalos 11. Thank you all for subscribing. Hope you all had fun watching whatever it is you've been watching, whether it's the stream or something else. And if it is the stream, then don't hesitate to join the Discord as well. Link is in the description down below. And if you are enjoying the stream, folks, just want to mention as well, don't hesitate to hit that like button, whether you're watching live or in VOD form. I'm wondering if it's safe to unhide the alert box here real quick so we don't... Yeah, looks safe. All right, cool. Thank you, Wickles, for dropping the Discord link. Link is in the chat as well now. And yeah, it's a fantastic place to hang out. Lots of wonderful people doing all sorts of wonderful things, organizing everything from multiplayer games to board game nights and all that. Good times, good times. All right. They all took a sip from their drinks. She slightly leaned towards me. So, Mr. Rain, why don't you tell us what's behind that strong character of yours? Okay. Chat, do you think she's coming on to me or no? Like, I don't read, like, this is just conversation, but, like, everything else they're describing as well all together with the, you know, weird complimenting. Right? This is awkward. This is very weird. I've heard that you were brought up in the capital and experienced all the power shift as it happened. Is that right? Must have been tough. The constitution change has not happened yet. We made our decisions, but they're still going through the processes of, like, the committee and all that stuff. The curves of her curls. Yeah, we must not be distracted by the shape of her curls. I try to leave my past behind and focus on today. It's who we have become that matters. It was difficult times in the capital, but I've learned a lot about politics. I didn't suffer much thanks to my family. We didn't have much, but we were stable. Yeah, sure. I feel like that's the honest answer there. Yeah. I was just about to say it's humbling also, and there you have it. That's very humble of you. I never met your family, Mr. President. How are they doing, if you don't mind me asking? They're doing great. We have no problems. That sounds so fake. It's true though. We've been okay. Like, there have been, like, minor, you know, moments of concern and whatnot with, like, the, you know, literal assassination we were standing next to, so to speak. I wouldn't say we don't talk much. There was that barbecue we had and all that stuff. I assume he means my kids and my wife, by the way, even though I was talking about my parents, presumably. They're doing great. We have no problems. We're good. We're good. That's great to hear. Your son must be very proud of you. Family is everything. My advice would be to make sure that Frank has a solid relationship with you. He is your future, after all. Alright, man, I don't know. If Walter Tusk is telling me to do something, I feel like I should do the opposite. So from now on, we leave Frank to his own. Off to boarding school. Yeah, I mean... why do you even care? Oh, I love how ruthless this game gets, man. I'm trying my best to be a good father to him. He seems to be somewhat introverted. He's going through the teenager period. It's difficult to connect with him. He's a little shy. The kid can handle himself. He doesn't need anybody else. Or why do you even care? Nah, I'm trying to be a good father. He does seem somewhat introverted. So we'll you know. I feel like this is honest, and there's no harm in that. Yeah. 3, you think? The kid can handle himself, he doesn't need anybody else? No, because I fear that can get spun, right? As like, oh, look at that, he's not involved in his kid's life and that kind of stuff. I'm trying my best to be a good father. Number 4. I have tempted by it, but no, not yet. The time to, like, cut him at his knees isn't yet. BM, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it in today. Time to dump Frank in the meat grinder. Oh man, yeah, just go all out. Not even boarding school. Just like, yep, you're dead to me, son. Wish that was my son's biggest problem. Edith, don't interrupt the man. Darren seemed to be doing fine. I saw that his yacht party in Benfey made the local news. Oh my god. Well, the rascal didn't even ask for permission to use the yacht and just took it. He basically stole it. Good news is that I finally convinced him to go to university. He'll study economics in Lackhaven Business School. God, honestly, it's just like, silver lining is he's not sending his kids off to elsewhere, you know? That's a good choice. Having a degree in Sordland separates you from the rabble. And we especially need more people who understand economics. God damn it, man. Every time he opens his trap. Maybe your son will be a great future economist. I wouldn't count on that. But I agree that we need more economists to enter politics. It's unfortunate that Ewald Alfonso was the only leader who actually studied economics. Economics? Economics. What am I? I know how to English. He turned to me. Not that I mean anything against you, Mr. Rain. Look at what he caused. Studying doesn't get you to the finish line. Alright. Alfonso was an inspiration for all reformists, okay? We're in this mess because of him. His political failure nearly destroyed us, alright? Mikhail, what did you say to me? Oh, Walter is savage? Yeah, dude's like, oh my god. Honestly, he is on the opposite end of the diplomatic spectrum to myself and to literally everybody else around this table over here. Yeah, he's like, meritocracy makes it sound palpable. Meritocracy makes it sound palpable. He's not into meritocracy. You 100% guaranteed the dude is into cronyism and nepotism and all those isms. That's about, you know, the dude tried to bribe me. That's not meritocracy. He literally tried to use money to get an upper hand. He's not into meritocracy for sure. For sure. Doesn't mean you agree with all his points. Number 2. True. Yeah, I suppose I could say. That was a tough one. See, because like Alfonso, economically speaking, is I wouldn't say diametrically opposed to us, because we again want to strike that balance where its state has say over private entities, right? Can I make Mikhail disappear? God, toss him off one of his yachts. Walter needs some milk. Yeah, I think, did Walter Tusk make his money himself, or or is he a trust fund kid? You know what? Began his career as an engineer after graduating with a degree from Kings Hill University. Who's his dad? Don't think it mentions his father. He might be a self-made millionaire. Maybe. Could be. Start yelling at this guy. Sure, I could say he's a bit of an inspiration for all reformists. I'm torn between 1 and 2. Chat, what do you think? I'm not going to throw up a vote, but what do you think? 1 and 2. Look at what he caused. Studying doesn't get you to the finish line. Is like his reign, at least according to some of the cabinet ministers and stuff, is what kicked off our current economic situation and our overall situation in general. The switch helped at first, but it seemed to then hinder. 2 is a bit more diplomatic, I suppose. I see 1 for each. Self-made, rigged the system. Yeah, potentially. I mean, he went to university. I don't know how expensive university is in Sordland. How's the stream going? Going pretty well, Jim Jamco. Thank you for asking. Pretty well so far. Having this conversation where one man keeps upsetting me, like in real life, the things he says just like upsets me because of how he says them. But apart from that, going great. Second one seems fine. I see a couple of 2s. I see, I think 3 2s and a bunch of 1s. 1 3, another 1. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with 1. I don't want to hang on this for too long. Let's go with number 1 here. Just majority rules, right? I suppose. True, but I think it was his ambition that brought him down. Too many big changes in a short time frame. A correction. It wasn't his policies that destroyed him. It was the old guard. Now, that I can agree on. Okay, alright. Hang on a second. Alright. Of course it was. They were a big threat. I'm gonna go with that. T-Bone, hey buddy. Hope you're having a good day so far. Hope you have a good weekend ahead of you as well. Jim Jamco, the game. You are the president of a nation that is falling apart, and it's sort of a text-based RPG political simulator. That's the game here. It's a ton of fun. It's very different from anything, you know, that you typically see out there these days, and does a really good job of making every decision that you make in conversations matter. Everything kind of has a ripple effect, a butterfly effect, and you're trying to save the country, I guess. He threatened their economic power base over the country through a vast privatization plan. They removed him and backed you after. Walter, stop with the conspiracy theories. I think we've had enough drinks. Everyone went quiet. After a long silence followed by some chit-chat, Walter ordered a bottle of whiskey. That's one good-looking bottle. The waiters brought one of the finest Arcasian whiskeys. It was time for a toast. I'm not going to drink. Made it very clear early on. Fine, says Walter. Good. Let's just drink this up and leave. Simon? Simon stood up. Seemed to have a slight issue with his balance. May the wheels of fortune always turn in our favor. The future of abundance awaits us. Cheers to that. I think it's time we called it a night. Edith stood up. Most of us were all a little tipsy at this point. I want to thank you, Mr. President, for joining us, and you, Simon, for putting all this together. Thank you, Edith, for joining with a bunch of ugly rich men. My wealth is 0, man. Thank you all for being here. There's no reason to be impolite. Yeah, thank you all for being here. It was great. Thank you. Thanks for being here. After bidding our farewells, we slowly walked out the restaurant. The moon was shining bright as everyone except Walter left in their luxury cars. President, a moment alone, please. That's Mr. President to you, Walter. He called me inside the small VIP lounge. What do you want? Usually the Lotharberg spokesman doesn't directly comment on the administration, but I'd like to say a few things since this was a special evening. I'm all ears. I mean, go for it. As long as we're speaking in public. Like, does this imply I went in with him? Oh, goddamn. That's not what I was wanting to not go in with him. Sat M says, hey PE, I work as a cybersecurity engineer and my day is usually 12 hours of stress and exhaustion with limited time to play games I love. Your videos, streams help me relax. I'm glad to hear that, buddy. Thanks for those kind words, and I can only imagine the stress of doing cybersecurity 12 hours a day. That is wild, man. But thank you for the kind words. And Archery22 coming through with a donation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bought Total War Warhammer 3. You pre-ordered off of Nexus GG. That's right, folks. By the way, if you want to pick up a game from my Nexus store, that's nexus.gg/partyelite. It does, in fact, if you add an extra bit over top of the regular commission, it does show up as stream alerts too. That's a new feature they implemented, which is pretty cool. But thank you, Artery, for picking that up from my store. I greatly appreciate the support, and yeah, it really means a lot. So thank you very much. It really helps a lot as well. Appreciate it greatly. All right, what do we do over here? Sure, if you have to. Yeah, Second Rook, I don't know if YouTube will let you throw the link in, so perhaps, good point. I should go ahead and say, here's the link. Let me get this link for y'all. The weird thing is, so lately they've actually, I can only put 10 games on display, but if you want to buy more, if you want to buy some other games, you can hit me up on, like, private message me on Discord, or even just, like, tag me on Discord and let me know what game you want, and I can find you the link to it. I can only put 10 on display, but there's a bunch. There's, like, honestly thousands of games on catalog. Yes, and I will pin it as well. Thank you, Natalie. Good point. Let's go ahead and pin that. Sorry for the little interruption there, folks. Always, I need to remember to build the command for it as well. I'm way too, I don't know. Y'all know how I am about these things. Prefer the Humble Store. It has a partner link as well. Yes, I also have the Humble Store. And again, I try to, like, approach both, I guess, when they're both available and have games available and whatnot. I'm still with both, yes. All right. Finally, a president that listens to the people. That's not what I implied here. It won't be easy to pass the new constitution through the Assembly and the Supreme Court. We could help you get it through, if you in return help us with a few economic requests. Oh, man. Walter lit his cigar and took a few drags before continuing. I am on Twitch. I don't really use Twitch, but my Twitch is party_elite. Don't actually use it all that much, though. I stream on YouTube primarily, but I do have a Twitch account. Yes, T-Bone. Many in the group are disappointed in the economic direction that you took by promoting an inefficient planned economy. Promises made during the election had to be upheld. That was the main reason behind the decision. We're certainly interested in maintaining a good relationship with Lothar. We don't share similar interests. I couldn't care less. I mean, I'm interested in maintaining a good relationship, but not at the cost of my dignity or morality or any of that. Let's see what he has to say. In that case, we can move towards a better future together. He looked me in the eye. You rejected our previous discreet offer to pick Underhall Construction for the execution of the first mega infrastructure project. This action led to disappointment in the group. We are aware of the upcoming tax meeting, and it would be a step in the right direction if private corporations would get a tax cut. To boost the economy with job creation, of course, and the positive side effect would be our support to the administration throughout the entire term. I will give large private corporations a tax reduction. I will make tax decisions objectively, can't promise you anything, or Lothar will not influence me. I think 2 is the way to go. Yeah, I know, right? 6X Lord, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, discreet? I don't know about that, buddy. I wasn't very discreet. This guy is so disgusting. He really is, honestly. I can't think of any other word to describe him. The game makes it so difficult for me to, work with him, even if we desperately need to. Sant, I see your message. He has connections with the oligarchs of the party that might help us in the Constitution. I totally hear you. But, oh my god, he is gross. And yeah, exactly, job creation. This guy doesn't care about job creations. That tax cut is going to go into his own bonus. He's going to buy another yacht, buy an extension to his house. Bet you're glad he didn't get you drunk. Man, I wonder how this conversation could go. Yeah, I'll make tax decisions objectively. Can't promise you anything. Oh, let's not be hasty. The recession will end if Lothar is on your side, President. Well, aren't we on the same side? Shouldn't we be on the same side? Don't you want to see your nation prosper? Well, if that's the case, then why not just be on my side? No, because you're scum. Why can't we all just be friends? See above, because you're scum. Maybe we can. I'll see what I can do. And then just not, Exactly, Wickles, exactly. Cutting taxes are fine, but not if it means you can't fund services or are forced into deep deficit. Yeah, that's true. We can't really. If anything, we should up the taxes. If you're so smart, then why aren't you president, Mr. Tusk? Becoming friends with him for political gain is corruption. Yeah. You can cut taxes for all 3 kinds of corporations, small, middle, and big. It's your decision. Okay, I might cut taxes for, small and middle, because that's a different, a small business, and even medium businesses, I can believe in more than this guy and what he stands for, honestly. All bark? Yeah, Ted Knight. All bark. He hasn't killed me yet. Excellent. Glad to hear this. Happy to make you happy, you fool. The group wants a private corporation tax cut and privatization in healthcare and education. Oh, so we're just adding things now. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that is too much of an ask. On third thought, I have to reject. You just have to push your goddamn luck. Because now my option is between literally promising it to him, rather than, waffling, or saying no. Look at this guy just pushes. He just pushes. Doesn't know when to stop. Take your win and leave. It's too much of an ask. On third thought, I have to reject. That's a shame. I did offer you a peace branch. Guy doesn't even know what olives are. There was an awkward silence. Either way, President, we are here and always ready to work with you if you change your mind. Don't forget that. I will think about it, but not now. Yeah, exactly, Uberjammer. Where's that option? Walter left, and Serge came to pick me up. I entered the car, and we drove to our residence in Lackhaven. Serge took the seaside route. Man, these guys are starting my Friday morning feeling a little gross. Yeah. Shower in bleach after that dinner conversation. Car bomb attack in Arvery. Oh no, the trouble never stops. A car parked in Agno-Sordish-dominated neighborhood in the outskirts of Arvery has exploded. Arvery police reported that there were no casualties or injuries. Immediate investigation found that the car was rigged with a timed bomb. No perpetrators have been found connected to the incident so far. Investigations are ongoing and details are not shared with the public. again, just as a reminder, there's a lot of like, what's the right term for it? Like, I guess communal violence and a lot of like hatred against the Agno-Swordish population. So I think that's just an extension of that. Get the tiny whips out for me, honestly. The first answer makes it seem like he used the Force on you. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that conversation ended really, like, took a sharp turn right at the end. All right, we got a situation down over here as well. School poisoning connected to Blutish woman. Oh, Christ. God damn it. Vilma Asir, who was working at the school kitchen, was apprehended with connections related to last week's school cafeteria poisoning in Rybel. The act was found to be politically motivated, as the perpetrators are connected to the banned Blutish Freedom Party. Asir is suspected to have been an active member of the Blutish Freedom Front since the start of this year. She has been sentenced to 60 years in prison. They're children. I play video games to be happy. God damn, dude. Oh, that's dark. Budget allocation of the government of Sordland. At the White Room in the Maroon Palace. Big fan of our colors, aren't we? Maybe this is related to the Mafia clash up there. The Mafia clash, if I'm not mistaken, is in Nargis. So the problems are sort of communal violence and poverty over here. The organized crime and poverty over here. Here it's the separatist activity, the Blutish Freedom Front, and probably also poverty. I don't know. It hasn't said it, but probably. Gelsland is all about economic stuff, I think. Hullsword is the capital, so no other issues. And we haven't really delved too much into Gruni or Lauren, but... oh, you know what? They've also had... I believe Gelsland has had some of the politically charged violence before. And the same with these guys over here, but nothing too, like, major. Big decision coming. Yeah, that's true. Remember, debt is just a number. We can privatize and take loans later. Natalie, yeah, big oof. Let's switch to Stardew Valley. Why do I feel like that's also going to be dark for me? The preparations for the government budget were finished. Most of the cabinet gathered in the White Room for the important occasion. Jeez. Nearly half a year had passed since my inauguration. The cabinet looked overworked. I would like to use this opportunity for a statement. I feel like people could use a bit of a pep talk. Ease, how's it going, buddy? Remember, log off of all your, work things. Don't stay logged into Teams or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure it's time for your weekend, right, man? Enjoy it. How's it going, dude? Privatize when you already aim for state-planned economy. It won't go down well. I was hoping to find that balance of, like, private but with... government, like, say on things. Nico, 100% agreed. I've got my eyes peeled on Blood Bowl 3 as the next big thing. I think isn't it coming out in, like, March, April or something like that? Pretty soon, all things considered. Oh, sounds good, dude. I hope you're feeling a bit, less kind of out of it. Ease. I hope the weekend does you well. Yeah, mixed economy, yeah. No, I know what it's called, but over my last, like, 4 or 5 years, so I've known what a mixed economy is for a very long time. I used to live in a country that has a mixed economy. And every time I bring up the term mixed economy, people misinterpret what I mean by it. So I've become very, like, cautious about using that term, because evidently, I guess, at least in Canada, it's not a very commonly used phrase, I guess. Or something. I don't know. I always get raised eyebrows and people always misunderstand. Anyway, sorry. That's why I clarify what I'm trying to do as opposed to just use the phrase mixed economy. This was Canada making the wrong choice at budget time would give you a game over. Depends. We have the majority, so a vote of no confidence. I mean, it depends on if our own party is with us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I would like to use this opportunity for a statement. Of course, sir. Each and every one of you is very capable, but it's what we do as a team that counts. We're doing great work, and this is just the beginning. There will be many more good things to come. Years ago, all of us gathered to change the course of history. Now I'm proud of what we achieved and what is to come. Yeah, I like that. I like 3. It's very, It's very, you know, like, just positive. I'm proud of what we have achieved and what is to come. To me, that's the most positive of sentiments over here. The first one feels like very, like, minimizing of what they'd done. The second one feels like we did good, but it's not over yet. It seems a little like, yeah, we know it's not over. Why do you have to reiterate that? You know, I like 3. Years ago, all of us gathered to change the course of history. Now I'm proud of what we achieved and what is to come. The ministers appeared energized by my statement. Much appreciated, sir. Sadly, Peter Vector and Gus Manger and David Whiskey won't be attending this meeting. Is that Gus Manger? Actually, now that I finally realized Ribery from earlier. Huh. They're working on the upcoming trade agreements with Welland and Agnolia. May the Lord be with them. Sierra gave a barely disguised eye roll. Ooh, okay. Before we begin, is nobody going to mention the ban on the Red Youth and Young Swords? However much their political aims might differ from our administration's, surely you must agree that freedom of expression must be protected at all costs. Yeah, I mean, Miss Morgana is right. Nia flashed her an appreciative smile. I myself hew far closer to the Red Youth's politics than the Young Swords, but I believe that both... She broke off as she noticed that Lucian, Simon, and Yosef were looking at her and Nia in stony silence. Ladies, let's leave the extraneous chit-chat for afternoon tea. Sierra shot a pleading look at Lilius, who merely pursed his lips disapprovingly. If you have problems with the ban, call a separate meeting with me, because it is very important, that we are not silencing voices, we are banning violent entities. War with Runeberg would be interesting, but I've been told it's damn near impossible to win. That's the way they set us up, yeah. That's the way they set us up. That's what they... We have numbers, but we lack the technology. It's time for war, oh god. No, I don't think it's a diss against afternoon tea. I think it's just another showcase of the belittling of, like, women and women's opinions in politics. Leave the extraneous chit-chat for afternoon tea. Like, is that extraneous chit-chat? I appreciate what he did there. He prevented this thing from blowing up. But, you know, that verbiage, though. If you have problems with the ban, call a separate meeting with me. I think the game is setting us up for the next big thing is going to be Toe Dude arrived. Yes, good point. I missed that. Goddamn. The next big thing is going to be women's rights and stuff like that, I feel like. Simon started loudly shuffling some documents around. All eyes turned to the Minister of Economy. Thanks to Simon's expertise, I'm sure we'll achieve lots of great things today. Dude's good at his job. Thank you for the compliment. Today is a big day. We must prioritize our spending wisely in order to achieve the goals we set as a government, while maintaining enough political support, if I may add. Promises were made during the election. There are 3 options regarding the budgeting of the 4 main branches of the government. It's either we increase, maintain, or decrease the funding. Increasing will result in an improvement of the branch, which will unlock new policy options. Maintaining will keep the funding, resulting in no visible change. Decreasing causes a loss of efficiency in that branch. Oh man, this is going to be tough, isn't it? Is it possible to maintain as much state control as possible? The problem isn't the amount of money spent, it's how efficiently we spend it. I kind of agree with both sentiments, I suppose. Let's talk about the efficiency of how we spend the money. Let's bring that up. Let's table that. It's true that many of our policies could be far better implemented. Our welfare systems are full of issues that need to be addressed, for instance. We have to be careful as to what we fund, so we have resources remaining for another investment project. Oh dear. Okay, we should prioritize the most critical branches. We have to keep true to the election promises. Our people voted for us because of the promises we made. A reduction of funding in certain branches can help fund investment projects. I think staying true to our promises is very important. Because everyone's going to have a different opinion of what the most critical branches are. Always, right? Start a new series with Anno 1800? Yeah, I've been tempted. I've been eyeing all the DLC that's been coming out. It's been on my mind. There's a different city builder that I'm eyeing as well right now, though. We'll talk about that. We can take some loans, don't worry. We have to keep true to the election promises, I want to say. As much as we realistically can. If we fail at improving our economy, the promises don't mean much in the big picture. See, like, I don't disagree with that statement. Before we begin our discussion, there is one more thing that I want to voice my opinion on. Oh no. As we manage the government budget, we're obviously able to go into debt to invest in different branches. Although debt is a possibility, under these circumstances it would dent our financial system, worsening the economic crisis. I highly advise against it. A point from me as well to everyone before the discussion. Given the current state of the country, the economic situation is a political priority right now, more so than ever. Let's begin then. Which branch should we discuss first? Oh man. I'm worried about this conversation. Remember folks, no spoilers in chat, please. Can't wait for Total War Warhammer 3 series when it comes out. You mean like a Let's Play on the channel? Oh man, there's gonna be, I've been waiting for Total War Warhammer 3 for so long. I cannot wait to dive in with like both feet, head first, both feet. Ease, how did I know you were gonna say military first? No! We're gonna go in order, just to keep it fair. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna talk about everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Completely forgot about education. We're gonna go in order. We're gonna cover everything. I know what you're about to say, Ease, too. Military, give it all of our money. Let's go to war with Rumberg. We will die. We will die. The military does have old equipment, yeah. Let's talk about healthcare. A tutorial series. I've been wondering if I need to like revamp my Warhammer beginners, my Total War beginners guide. Warhammer 1 still largely applies, but I do wonder if I should revamp it with, you know, better audio equipment and stuff especially. Let's talk about healthcare. Going in order, Ease. Our healthcare system is vast and provides free services to most of our citizens. However, the quality of our health services is far worse in low-income and rural areas. Therefore, I think that we should receive more funding to address this disparity. So we talked about this last session. That was 2 weeks ago now. We talked about this last session. Healthcare and education were kind of presented as two sides of the same coin, if you will. And we talked about this a fair bit. And I think ultimately the thinking was like, if we have to invest in one or the other, we should invest in education over healthcare because of the long-term potential benefits of a higher quality of education. Now, Sant has been mentioning that we can take loans and balance things out, so I don't know if the implication there is to just like spend money on everything and just go into severe debt. But yeah, we'll have to figure out how much and what we can spend on. Yeah, we did the tactical retreat from those unrounded numbers. Yeah, God, those numbers. Not sure how you would swing it, but I'd be keen for a story-based series for Warhammer 3, kind of like you did for Bannerlord. That was actually my plan. I've had plans for doing something like that for Total War for a while. Part of the reason why I haven't been able to do a Let's Play on them is because I've been biting off more than I could chew. I need to find that perfect balance of editing and how to make the storytelling happen. But I've got some plans I've been experimenting with. It's not debt if you conquer the ones that you loan from. Yeah, fair. Remember the investment in Arcasia? Yeah. We'll have to see what happens, what comes of that. Okay. I think we should receive more funding to address this disparity. I agree. I have recently begun an investigation into healthcare in Narble, and the numbers are not good. If we don't increase spending on health services, we at least need to maintain it. Otherwise, we are putting lives at risk. Yeah, I would not take funding away from healthcare. We have just started a new analysis of what would happen if a pandemic struck Sordland. Pandemics don't happen that often. Pandemics are a rarity. Pandemics are fine. This guy's worrying about stuff that just like never happens. According to the results, if our healthcare facilities remain in their current state, the death toll would be unimaginable. I'm not even talking about the damage to the economy. This is a matter of life and death, Mr. President, and it should be treated as such. That is indeed worrying. I love this second one. That is only if a pandemic happens. Okay, that is indeed worrying. We should try to fix whatever we can as the government. We need to improve our healthcare. What else are we here for if we can't keep our people alive? Let's say, okay. I mean, that is worrying. obviously. We should try to fix whatever we can as a government. All right, let's talk about law enforcement then. I would like to have an increase in the funding of law enforcement to increase the size of the police force and raise salaries. We have so many internal threats to tackle, and I'm already stretching my units far too thin with the limited resources allocated to me. Nia cleared her throat. Law enforcement is certainly a high priority. However, I feel tackling internal corruption is of far higher importance than increasing our police presence. If it's going to be between those two, I think, yeah, corruption is a bigger problem, maybe. Yeah, Uber Jammer. We can privatize state assets. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing that, though. I don't know. It depends on which assets, I suppose. And if it can be mixed proper, you know. Directing the funds to my department would solve the problem at its root. If corruption is still rampant, all the police in the world won't help us. Oh, yeah, that's so true. We need a specialized anti-corruption police unit, which would create if the funds were directed to me. Which we could create, sorry. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 corrupt cops or 100 corrupt cops or 1,000,000 corrupt cops, right? I agree with Ms. Morgna. We should not reward a structure that is responsible for an ever-increasing number of human rights violations. Additionally, corruption is the reason of our government's inefficiencies. It needs to be tackled. Oh, okay, so they're both on the same page then. Okay, so these two are on the same page. Lilius is the only one who's talking about the police force directly. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the thing about privatization, Maxime, is so the promise we made was for what's it called? Oh my god, the term escapes me right now. A planned economy is the promise we made. But even back then, I'd mentioned that I kind of want to do a bit of a mixed economy approach, where it's just like it's all state controlled, and even the private entities have to adhere to state kind of rules. So yeah, that's the thing. State that's the balancing act that I have to try and find in Strike, where it's like we still maintain our promises, but also the policies we kind of talked about earlier. Is there any better idea to get more money? Yeah, tax the rich. Just up those big business taxes all the way as high as they can go. As high as they can go. Higher than that even. What happens if the corruption police become corrupt? Yeah, I mean, that's always... It is a disease. It's a pandemic of its own. The police is there to serve and protect the people of Sordland, Miss Walda, and that is exactly what they were doing. More funding will allow us to take care of our police forces. It is quite a simple choice, given the current status of the country. It's like either let the government bribe them or let people bribe them out of being arrested, right? Overseeing the privatization could be good if available. Yeah, like being a bit more hands-on. Invest all state budget in GME. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, I guess depends on when you buy in. I agree with Lilius. If this was another time, I would have said something different, but we know the current situation. I agree with Nia. We need real solutions for real problems like corruption. I agree with Ciara. What would happen? What would people think of us if we fund the police after all that happened? Ciara... Agreeing with Ciara is also agreeing with Nia. Right? I feel like... Oh, dear. Both 2 and 3 apply here. See a couple 2s. I see E's on the 1. I see 3 2s, 1 1. Yeah, I suppose I could go with 2. Invest also need anti-corruption police. That sounds pro-corruption. You'd need anti-corruption police. That's what you'd need. Is this U.S. simulator? No, it's it does have a lot of problems though. The country that we lead. Nia is always right. Nia is best minister. You know me, I'm a totalitarian when it comes to advice in this game. Yeah, that's why I chuckled when I saw the 1. Because I saw the 1 first, I didn't see your... Like, I saw the 1 and then I saw the name and I was like, I know who said that. 2 is wanting to get rid of corruption, 3 is being worried of public opinion. That's a, you know what, that's a good split between the two. I see a lot of calls for 2. Well, let's go with 2. That's a good way to interpret the 2. I agree, Maxime. Okay, it's time to hear the opinions on the military. Already picturing Ease's statements. What is there to hear about? I already voiced my opinions. Today, did you, Mr. Toeman? Did you? Roomberg is coming whether we like it or not. If not this year, next year. If not next year, the year after that. Okay, so you're basically saying it's not necessarily an immediate threat. So you're bringing nothing of value to this conversation, Joseph. You're fear-mongering. You're war-mongering. Stop this jingoistic goddamn... Mr. President, you and I have a shared responsibility to protect this nation from its enemies, and I intend to do so until my last breath. I will say this with certainty. If Roomberg doesn't make a move against Sordland in 2 or 3 years, my name is not Joseph Lancer. Yeah, it's Toeman. Joseph was beginning to lose control of the volume of his voice. There can be no argument against increasing the budget for our army when there is an enemy on our doorstep, waiting for us to make one wrong move. Anyone who thinks otherwise is a fool. Mr. Lancer. Right. Pardon my theatrics, sir, but this is a serious matter. The future of our country is up to you, Mr. President. Well, here's an argument. The armed forces does nothing but eat away financial resources destined for our people while stoking fears for an upcoming war. The issues with Roomberg can be solved diplomatically. What kind of a message are we sending to them and the whole world if we suddenly start ramping up our military budget? Good point. That we are ready to defend our nation, Miss Walda. Exactly. I said previously we need to be as diplomatic as possible. I feel like we've already sent out a letter to the United Nations equivalent. Right, we've already kind of taken that approach previously, been diplomatic, and applied international pressure. So, no surprise with Ease's opinion there. Oh no, the toe puns have come out. Wish I could stop them in their tracks. Be diplomatic, but also be prepared. That's what I would want to do, is, yeah, like, I'm not going to reduce our military budget. I'm not going to increase it either, I don't think. I think we'll maintain it. And then continue to push diplomacy, right? I don't think we'll succeed in a war. Open war is not going to work for us. Increasing military budget, I think, would send the wrong message. Yeah, exactly. Because, like... Yeah, it's a tough thing, because it's just like... We're trying to portray ourselves as being threatened. And then if we also increase our military budget, does that imply that we're able to take care of ourselves? Even though we're not? Like, how much a year is not enough time to upgrade equipment. Now, I don't know if the game sticks to that like realism, but upgrading equipment takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight, you know? I prefer not to weigh in on these decisions. I like to see what party does because it's usually the opposite of the dumb thing I would do. I don't know, man. I feel like some of my decisions are definitely on the dumb side. They're definitely, what's the word? Like utopic, I guess. Would I agree with this guy if he had a different mustache? You know, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he still sounds pretty problematic. Yeah, I'm going to probably maintain the budget is what I'm saying, Jazzy. Yeah. Yeah, we are doing something. Diplomacy is being presented as an option. So it's not that we're not doing anything. We're taking the diplomatic approach as opposed to the military approach. It's like, how are we going to... We're not going to catch up to their strength. I don't think a small budget increase is an option. I think it's just 3 choices. Reduction, maintenance, or increase. Military won't like that maintaining the budget. Remember, they have high influence in politics. Yeah, there's gonna be a junta trying to overthrow us. Diplomacy is for the weak. Feel you can't trust the people with mustaches? Damn, these guys are doing mustaches dirty. No, Lucien is pretty good, but he's got a beard as well, though. Pascal is also pretty good. He's got a mustache. Yeah, but okay, so perfect way to create a coup, right? But like, kowtowing to the military is also not a good thing. Just giving the military more power because you don't want them to coup isn't a good thing either. If we take everything to like an extreme, right? Everything is bad. Everything can be bad. The war is only a possibility while currently poverty exists for real. A tank is 40 tons worth of diplomacy. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Can I make a summary of Workers and Resources series? What happened? Because it's hard to catch up on more than 150 hours of content. Jishnu, if you watch actually episode 150, we do a whole tour, which will catch you up on everything. And from then we only did so much. I agree with Sierra. We need to be as diplomatic as possible. Look, if we get assassinated, if we crash and burn, then so be it. It's gonna happen. We have created so many enemies. It's just a matter of who gets us. We should start a non-fiscal betting pool of like who do we think is gonna assassinate us before the end of this playthrough. Now, what about education? Our education system is lacking, not only in funding but also in modern curricular principles. Our outdated curriculum is wasting our youth. That is the reason why I advocate two things: an increase of the budget to improve access to education in rural areas, and a new education reform. For sure, Jishnu, for sure. Yeah. That's why I do tours every once in a while to help folks who haven't been like watching through the whole thing. To be honest, Sordland is lacking compared to Arcasia and United Contana when it comes to education levels. The backbone of any country is its people, and we need to protect our future. We need to ensure the new generation is as well educated as their counterparts in more modern countries. Nonsense! Sordland is still here because of this very system that you insult. How can you insult a system that teaches our sons and daughters the principles of national identity and pride? Sorry, Lilius, Sordland is still where? Sordland is still where? How well are we doing? How well is this country doing right now? What was that? I couldn't hear you over the sound of people dying of starvation. We won't be compared to other countries. Sordland is Sordland. Yeah, it is. I agree with Lilius. Sordland is Sordland. God damn toe. I must also remind you that we promised that we were going to focus on education during our campaign. Jishnu, you headed off? Alright, sounds good, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the day, evening, afternoon, whatever it might be, and weekend as well. Have a good one, buddy. Lilius is off the nice list. You know? The power of the D. I liked Lilius. You're right, Lucian. We can't let people down. Lilius is right. We have to pave our own path. We didn't get this far by imitating Arcasia or United Contana. How far? God damn it. That's so, like, drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I agree with Sierra. It's high time we invest in education and enact reforms. I'll think about it. I agree with Lucian as well as Sierra. You're right, Lucian. We can't let people down. He's my chief strategist. Sierra is the Minister of Education. I'm like trying to figure out who in my cabinet is more important to you know, have like me. You're right, Lucian. We can't let people down. Sierra is fine as well. I think they're both okay. Yeah, that's a good point too, JC. I was torn between the two options. 10 p.m. Gotcha. So have a good night then, I suppose, and weekend, of course, as well. Very good talking points from everyone. Was it Simon? Ever the diplomat. We should send him to engage with Broomberg. Well then, the time to make a decision on the budget has come. Consider it with care, Mr. President. I don't want to right now. Simon placed a stack of papers on my table. No, I'm not mentally ready for this. Goddamn. He's trying to sort things out. That's good. Health. Okay. I need a drink of water before I get into this. This is gonna be a hot goddamn mess. And it's gonna determine our budget as well. We're probably gonna see a big deficit. Also, yeah, Sordland is Sordland reminds me not of Zoidberg, but it makes me think of the Incredibles. The Incredibles 2. That meme with the dad being like, what is it, like math is math? Well, I forget what the original like seed is. debt is just a number. It's true. It's like age. I need something stronger than water. I guess I'm hoping I'll have enough water that my brain explodes and I don't have to deal with these decisions. Math is math. Is that the original quote? That's what I remember it being, but that was the first time I saw it memed, I guess. All right. Term budget. Health. The healthcare system of the country was at a crossroads. Since the 1940s, the difference in quality between urban and rural hospitals was getting worse, and the average life expectancy dropped. The situation was becoming relatively dire. Upon selecting one of the options below, you will sign an irreversible order. Please think carefully, because there will be no going back this time. Oh, goddamn. Alright. Alright. Let's go with increase. Because again, we can go into debt, and I fully... Alright, folks. I think we're back. Sorry about that. Gotta love those technical issues, but I believe we are back, and I'm gonna say if you're still not seeing anything, then hit refresh. But we are seeing all systems nominal on my end over here. Yeah, looks like we're good. Oh man, glory to Sordland. Exactly, it's that Swordish internet coming in to the rescue. All right, moving forward. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, looks like we're back. Praise be to the internet budget increase, honestly. God. All right, let's do this. So, I think increasing this is very... yeah, right. So as I was saying, I think we want to just basically increase everything, and then military is the only thing that I'm like hesitant about, honestly. And the police, if we have to choose between the anti-corruption unit and the police as it exists, I'm kind of leaning towards the anti-corruption unit, but let's see how the decisions come by. All right, so first step, health. We will increase the budget, right? I think that's what I saw before the internet died there for a second. And if I scroll up, it won't let me scroll up far enough. Decrease military is the first thing I see. Yeah, sure. Let's increase the health budget. God. I hope I'll have a chance to review at the end because I feel like I'm going to need to. Education. All right. The education system in Sordland was overburdened. The lack of schools, teachers, and even equipment in certain areas caused massive gaps in what was otherwise known as one of the most robust systems around a decade ago. Upon selecting one of the options below, you can't go back is what it's saying. Take that -1. Huge deficit. Law and enforcement. Increased crime, lawlessness, and a new wave of immigration has pushed many elements of the law enforcement to their limits. Judges at courts are barely keeping up with the backlog of cases. On the other hand, police are overburdened. God. Do we just want to... Gotta increase for anti-corruption, I'm pretty sure. It makes sense. Like, right now it's asking us, do we want to make the investment? I presume that later on it'll ask us, okay, now where is that money going, right? Because I think earlier they said that we would, it would unlock more policy options and things like that. And I think that was the game implying that in-game, down the line, we would make some policy decisions based on our decisions here. You have to have either the police or the army on your good side to protect you from whose bad side you get on. Yeah, it's true. Oh, it's going to be a huge deficit. It's going to be a huge deficit. it'll be an even bigger deficit as we invest in like more infrastructure projects. But yeah, I was just classified. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say, but you got to spend money to make money. We're investing now to have a better future, right? And I might go down in history as the president that did this in a negative light, but you know, maybe 10, 20, 30 years down the line, they'll think back on this moment and be like, yeah, you know, I guess it had to be done. I think here we have to maintain, because like I said, the optics of the situation internationally, and I know we saw some calls of like, yeah, to hell with the international opinion and whatnot. But I feel like even if we try to increase our budget, see, here's what'll happen. When we increase our budget, the whole world will know, including Roomberg. But between increasing your budget and actually enacting any changes, there's a lot of time. Do you know how long it takes to make a tank or a modern, I guess, 50s era fighter jet? How much time it takes to rearm your infantry and retrain them? Right? Like, it takes time. And all that time is an opportunity for Roomberg to be like, well, before you advance yourselves too much, I'm going to attack, because that's clearly, you know, like, our gap is reducing. It reduces the amount of time we have for diplomacy. You know? So it's just like, there's a lot of... Because I don't disagree that we need a better military for threats. However, I don't think now's the time to do it. You do that... this is going to sound weird. You do that in times of peace. You don't start to improve your military when war is on the horizon. And everyone's like, oh, how do I use this gun? Oh, I don't, because I've been shot in the head now. Right? I'm gonna go with maintain. T-90s cheap straight from Mother Russia. Yeah, fly some MiGs, roll some T-90s out. We'll maintain this. I don't want to take money away from them. That's a bad idea. But we'll maintain their budget at least. God damn, this is such a hearts in my throat. Your promises will be remembered and they will have consequences. Are you sure about your decision, Mr. President? No, I'm not, but do I have a choice? You can't get caught with your metaphorical pants down if you're upgrading your military. Always maintain a big stick, but don't go searching for branches when the bully is looking at you. Yo, I like that a lot. I like that a lot, Ted Knight. Always maintain a big stick, but don't go searching for branches when the bully is looking at you. Yeah. Huh. I like that quite a bit. Alright, here we go. That's our final decision. Yeah, -2 doesn't sound too bad. Doesn't sound too bad. Huh? Let's do it. I'd finished allocating the government budget to the satisfaction of some cabinet members and the dismay of others. They and I knew this would define a significant part of our term. We have a deficit on our hands. We will need to resort to debt to finance investments. This is worrying. Agreed. Well then, let's start with law enforcement. Nia and Lilius were both smiling. Thank you for this decision, Mr. President. I knew you would see reason on this, considering our internal security threats are at an all-time high. I still disagree with Ms. Graff on how the money ought to be spent, but the increased funding is certainly a step in the right direction. Any statements on the matter, sir? Law enforcement is a key branch that needs a greater budget due to the increased threats and need for security. I trust you to push the Ministry of Interior and Justice forward. Or no, that should be all. You know what? Yeah, I think I like number 2. It shows my faith in my ministers. It shows that I've given them the increased budget because I expect them to figure out what's best. I'm not going to direct them. And if that's the option for everybody, then that's probably what I'm going to go with for everybody. It's like, yeah, I trust you. Do your job as I trust you to do. Sean Scheitel, how's it going, buddy? And Mr. Jollification making it in today as well. Hey. What did you miss? You missed us having a dinner with a bunch of scumbags who are being super sleazy and slimy. And we just decided our budgetary future. Time to borrow some Arcasian money? Oh man, hopefully not. I don't want to be reliant on either superpower. We'll be able to achieve positive results in the coming year, I can assure you.
We will tackle corruption and the backlog of cases head-on. Let's hear the Minister of Education. Sierra was eager to comment. The increase of funding is very welcome. We can finally go after some comprehensive improvements by building new schools and improving the education system. Surely a well-funded and larger Ministry of Education would benefit everyone. Our future depends on our children. Education is the first step in the fight against ignorance. Education is our future and it will not be sidelined. Our focus on it is clear. Your expertise and passion should enable you to make the necessary changes for improvement, or we can move on. Yeah, no, definitely going with number 2. I like that. Your expertise and passion should enable you to make the necessary changes for improvement. The writing in this game is spot on. We'll be able to achieve my grand goals with these new budgetary resources. The military is next. Oh no, here comes the toe. Sierra clearly wasn't finished, but didn't interject. Yosef chimed in. Rude, Lucian. I sided with you earlier. You can't be rude to... Come on, man. It is a shame that the military won't be getting an increase. I'll have to make sacrifices to maintain our defense. It's kind of funny that I literally just complimented the writing on the game and then there's a typo. But it's fine. Typos happen. This is a huge script. It's just funny. But the writing on the game is on point. Lucian seemed as if he was about to say something, but looked down at his notepad when Yosef eyed him. Yeah, he probably does feel a little stubbed, doesn't he? Sean, should I tell those people sound like the people I would love to hang out with? These slimy, sleazy people? With your talents and experience, you'll overcome the issues our military faces. Ah, I like this. Maintaining the funding was a correct call, especially in light of the threats. Next up is health. Let's continue. No, I'm not going to be... Dude, I'm not going to be mean to him. Again, let's fluff him up a little bit, right? With your talent and experience, you'll overcome the issues our military faces. By the way, if you're curious about where the term fluff up comes from, it's got a very funny background that I can't talk about on stream because I'll get demonetized. But it is funny, is all I can say. Sergio Alpio headed out. Time to leave, make Sordland a better place, and have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye. Well, thank you very much for dropping by, Sergio Alpio. Glad you could join in today. Have yourself a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend, and hopefully I'll catch you on Monday, or maybe Tuesday, or maybe Friday, or maybe in the comments, or maybe in the Discord. But have a wonderful rest of the day, buddy, and enjoy that weekend. All right. With your talents and expertise, you will overcome the issues of our military faces. That our military faces. My bad. It will be harder to do so, but I shall find ways. It is my duty. Precisely. Yosef leaned back in his chair. Let's hear from Mr. Beniwal. Is he going to apply more pressure? Thank you, sir. The health budget increase will help me to focus on improvements. Our people will now be safer than ever. I am also planning to tackle issues like the lack of rural hospitals and the recently worrying numbers of maternal deaths. Welfare must remain a priority for our term. There is no other way around it. Healthcare is very important for us. As we move forward, it'll improve drastically. Your opinions were noted, Pascal. Your task is to improve the care. Well, that doesn't sound as like, you know... It doesn't sound as, like, I put my faith in you. I believe you can do it. You're a talent. That doesn't sound as... it sounds less, you know, it sounds less positive, I guess. Just realized that your most anticipated strategy games of 2021 now got nearly 300,000 views, and you're now up to 161k subs. Yeah, buddy, it's been a good start to the year. It's been wild, but yeah, that video's been doing really well. The city building one's not doing as well as the strategy games one, but it's always one or the other that blows up. And we're actually, because I can see on the back end, we're only 277 subscribers away from being at 162k. That's wild, man. I never in a million, honestly, jeez, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's all thanks to all of y'all. It just blows my mind every time I see another number get knocked down, you know? It's wild. It's wild. Let's go with number 2 over here. I feel like the intent is it's the same idea. Yeah, exactly. The last ones are more complimentary, and then this one not so much, right? And I thought I saw... Yeah, oh yeah, Natalie. No, yeah, you gotta look it up. Fluffer and Iceman. I believe Iceman is the other one. Or Icer. Icer or Iceman. Those are the two to to look up if you're so inclined. With a new budget, we have many options to improve our healthcare program and provide for the people. That covers all branches. Each minister will approach you with their respective policy requests and expectations over the next year. Thank you for your time and participation in this significant moment. The meeting is concluded. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time and effort. Regardless of what happened, I wouldn't be here without you. I like that. Don't forget that we were a team. For those who didn't like the decisions, don't take it personally. That's kind of mean. Dismissed. No. Regardless of what happened, I wouldn't be here without you. Don't forget that we are a team. The ministers bid their farewells, some excitedly, others dejectedly. The cabinet slowly dispersed out of the White Room. The budget for our term was concluded. Man, everything lights up. We have another. There were 3 news articles already, and now there's another one. Government budget decreased. Oh, man. All right, let's take a look over here. Welfare. Relieved welfare system. So increased education funding happened. Some successful improvements have relieved the strained welfare system from the worst, but not all issues are solved. Okay, so we have had an upgrade here, but not entirely. So I wonder if we'll get another chance at this. Yeah, sad toe man is sad. Poor guy. Increased education funding. The budget for education has been increased, allowing for improvements, for new improvement opportunities in the system. Excellent. What about everything else? I guess, you're not going to mention anything else? Not gonna... nothing else is worth highlighting? Okay, fair enough, fair enough. We also have our decisions, I think, finally included over here. Yeah, I decided to increase the law enforcement budget, I decided to increase the education budget, I decided to maintain the military budget, and I decided to increase the healthcare budget. I think that was the right call. Hopefully it was. I mean, again, the -2 will hopefully bounce back from, but yeah. Well, before I read the news, what's going on here? Reform Committee status report. Lucien Galata reports that so far, they've been able to get in total 87 signatures behind the proposal. The work is underway to increase the support and to reach out to necessary members. Well, that's not bad. I mean, I don't know how much longer is left for gathering signatures, but that's more than halfway there. So that's good. Right? The silver lining. Any other things to look at before we read the news? No, looks like everything else is done. All right, what's up? The Hull Sword Post. Let's begin with the older news. Bill on the rights of workers being drafted. The Grand National Assembly of Sordland will vote on a bill on Thursday to protect workers' rights in Sordland that supporters are calling the most ambitious pro-labor legislation in decades, and which one USP representative has dismissed as the worst bill in the Assembly. The Workers' Protection Act has strong support from both PFJP and the NFP, as well as labor leaders. Wow, so we're the only backward party when it comes to this? Okay. The bill was a result of a bipartisan effort from the leading figures of the PFJP, as well as the Ministry of Health, led by Pascal Benewal. It was proposed to the Assembly by Representative Albin Clavin from the USP. The Workers' Protection Act amends the Labor Act by establishing a minimum wage of 2.5 Sordish Ren per hour, and adding guidelines on overtime work as well as safety and protection guidelines. It also extends the rights of the workers to all migrants, acknowledging their rights as workers in Sordland. The bill also makes it illegal for corporations to force workers to do unpaid overtime work. Companies who fail to abide by the rules established with the bill will be heavily fined by the government and may be forced to face legal action. Some estimates suggest costs for these firms would increase by 50% if they have to treat workers according to the proposed laws. Despite the bill coming from the governing USP, it faces a huge opposition inside the party. However, with the support of the PFJP and NFP, the bill has a high chance of passing the Assembly. Yeah, that just sounds like reasonable workers' rights, man. That just sounds like an entirely reasonable bill. Also interesting, labor goes from being, I noticed this as well, labor without the U and then labor with the U. Kind of weird. Again, little typos, not an issue. Yeah, the NFP are nationalist. Yeah. So they don't necessarily. Again, it's important to remember, right, economic policy versus social policy versus political policy, and how you can be from each. The opposition will support this. That's right, Sant. So everybody is open. Everybody is good with this, except for certain people in our own party. Everybody else is fine, but people in our own party have issues with it. Some people. So, the 1954 Sordish government. Well, actually, I believe these are... Yeah, these are older. So let's look at the older news first. President meets with the Business Council. Our sources have reported that yesterday, President Rain had a meeting with the Business Council behind closed doors in Lackhaven, which later continued with a dinner in a 5-star Asteria restaurant with leading figures from the council. The agenda of the meeting was not disclosed, and the contents of the meeting remain a secret, but it can be expected that President Rain has discussed the future economic plans of his administration, as well as listening to the concerns of the leading industry figures. The outcome of the meeting will hopefully arrive quickly, with positive developments and more transparency compared to today. Meanwhile, the Lackhaven Times reports on a mine disaster. Disaster hit Morbel last night when one of the main support shafts in the Morbel coal mine collapsed, trapping many coal miners inside. The collapsing structure has also started an underground fire, turning the sky black with ash and sorrow in Morbel today. Yikes. As reported by the government, the current death toll sits at 112 dead, with many other miners still trapped inside. The rescue operations are continuing without any sleep. Investigators have told us that this might have happened due to the neglect of Nadam Mining Group. Families of miners and people of Morbel showed up in protest at the site of the disaster. Coincidentally, the workers' rights bill that was being drafted in the Assembly for the past few months comes too late. The eyes of Sordland are now turned to President Rain to see his decision on the bill. Interesting. Interesting. These guys are... it's one of the largest state-owned mining corporations in East Maricopa. Man, making the state look bad. This is not good. That is not good. And then finally, we have the government budget news report. After a marathon 18 hours of negotiations, the Swordish governmental budget for the current term has been finalized. The government envisages sees spending around 40 billion Swordish Ren next year, almost 29 billion Swordish Ren more than this year. The 1954 budget sees the first measures for more internal security being introduced. While the details of the allocation of the increased security funding is not yet clear, it is expected that the Ministry of the Interior and the Ministry of Justice will both benefit from the increase. Minister of the Interior, Mrs. Graff, has expressed her gratitude for the increase in the law enforcement budget, saying that this increase will help us bring and maintain the peace that we've all been waiting for. Additionally, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health, two of the smaller ministries in Sordland, will see their budget grow more than expected, which will especially improve the quality and the accessibility of welfare services around the nation. Mrs. Walda and Mr. Benewal have expressed their gratitude for the increase in the welfare budget, saying that this increase will help everybody in Sordland. I'm glad to see that our toe man didn't get involved over here. He didn't get to express himself to the news, because otherwise I feel like he'd be pretty problematic. Let's put it that way. This game uses a political compass, so on one axis it's capitalist versus socialist, on the other it's authoritarian versus liberal. Okay. I guess that's everything. Yeah, I guess that's how it labels everything as well. Everyone likes the workers' draft bill except for the companies. Yeah, the companies, and then I'm sure people in our party who are in their pockets as well, obviously. For sure. Okay, well, you know, the news has been relatively positive, all things considering. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'll take that. And I believe that's everything for this turn, as it were. All right. And so we continue. Chapter 2. A New Sordland. Chapter change has got to imply some big moves coming up, I imagine. Some big moves coming up. There's already news to read. There's some reports to check out as well. Lots to do, folks. But you know what? What better time to call a stream than at a chapter end? Folks, this is where we're calling it today. Went a little bit over our usual time to make up for the fact that we started a bit later than usual. But I feel like that's the time to call it. We've got a lot of interesting stuff, I think, going on right now. There's issues basically across the nation, including over at Benfey. We haven't seen anything from from this area for a while. But yeah, there's stuff going on around not just our own country, but across the borders as well. Looks like there's something going on at Agnolia. I don't know if Welland has anything. No, Welland. I assume this has to do with our trade conversations. But of course, with the Hull Sword itself, we also have the Workers' Rights Act that we either need to sign or veto after it's been approved by the Grand National Assembly. All that and more next time, folks. We will be back on Friday with more Suzerain, of course, live at the same time. That's 10 a.m. Eastern. make sure to join in and see where the story takes us. Again, I would love to see people's opinions as to who's going to assassinate us first. Who gets to us first is the big question, really. Again, on your way out, make sure you hit that like button, folks. It really does help me kind of make decisions with regards to what I should keep going, if something has kind of run its course and I should stop or change gears, stuff like that. If you're watching live or if you're watching as a VOD, either way, it really does make a very, very big difference. So do let me know. Make sure you join the Discord as well, as Wickles drops that link in chat once more. Hopefully PartyBot can keep up. But yes, if you're not in our Discord already, do join in. Again, it's a wonderful community. It's fantastic hanging out, so don't hesitate to join in there. And again, on the topic of fantastic things, I do want to give thanks to all the fantastic people here who have joined in today. We did get a purchase on our store earlier from Artery 2020 or 22, sorry. So thank you very much for that, buddy. And as well, of course, a massive thanks to all of the channel members and patrons who have been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. It's honestly, words cannot express my gratitude well enough. Thank you very, very much. And as Ease even mentioned earlier, a big old thanks to all of y'all who have been watching for close to 5 years now, watching along, joining in, sharing stuff, commenting, just hanging out. It's been an absolute pleasure. And seeing Ease actually talk about those numbers was it hit a soft spot. It's been a wild ride, and I hope y'all are enjoying it. And I want to thank you all for joining me on it. Wickles, oh, did the bot not drop the link? Oh, rude bot. You know what? It's because of the disconnect earlier. I think that's why. Wickles. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and can I grab the link from somewhere? I can grab the link from somewhere. Yeah, I can grab the link from somewhere. Here you go. I'm going to pretend to be PartyBot for a second, folks. Make sure you join in. A link is in the description as well for those of you watching the VOD, but there you go, in chat as well. Again, I'll catch you next time, whether that's in the Discord, in the comments, or Monday, which is our Crusader Kings 3 stream, Tuesday, which is our Phantom Brigade stream, or again on Friday, which is, of course, back to Suzerain. I'll catch you whenever I catch you. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. And until next time, cheers.